What's up guys, Ryan here. Today I wanted to do a video talking about my initial experience selling through Amazon FBA's Pan-European FBA program. Now, I'm assuming you guys have probably heard of it if you found this video. Otherwise, let me just give you some background. Essentially, this program, and Amazon pushed it pretty hard on FBA sellers, but it allows you to send inventory to one location in the UK for FBA, and then it will automatically, like Amazon will automatically fulfill orders through amazon.co.uk, amazon.de, which is Germany, amazon.fr, which is France, amazon.it, which is Italy, and amazon.es, which is Spain. So you send to one location and you can sell on 5 different international markets. Now, Amazon's looking for that global domination. You know Jeff Bezos wants global domination. So obviously he wants to expand everywhere possible. And I just got an email the other day talking about like the Middle East or something, like one of those Middle Eastern companies. I think they might have called it FBA Middle East, if I'm not mistaken. So it might be a similar program. But anyways, they roped me into this because, it makes sense from just a logic perspective. If you can make it work and be profitable and have a global brand, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? But there was a massive learning curve, and I was up to the task. And I will pass on, by the way, 100% of my knowledge about how to do this. Like right now I'm giving you the high level stuff. I'll give you 100% of it in my Amazon FBA course as a bonus module should you choose to enroll. Links always in the description, along with everything else you need to know to sell on FBA in America. But anyways, so I ended up getting roped in. I spoke to an Amazon account manager over the phone. They were assigned to my account. First thing they did was they translated my listings, all of my FBA listings, not just the ones that I opted to sell in Pan-European FBA, into the native languages for Germany, Italy, France, and Spain, which is awesome because if it's not in the native language, you're in trouble, right? And if you use Google Translate, it's not going to work as well. One thing I will say that they did though was that like if I had like a nice, well optimized for SEO block of text, the people translating it were not about that life. They didn't want to translate all that, so they truncated it. They condensed it, and it's to be expected. Anyways, they did all this for me, and they created all my listings for me. What I ended up doing is I did everything they told me to do, first of all. None of this is like my opinion. But I pay $40 a month for a second seller account on amazon.co.uk. But from within there, I have like links to click. There's a drop down at the top. That's what I always choose. And the drop down, I could swap to the other 4 countries. And if you're wondering, yeah, when you swap the drop down to like amazon.fr to see your sales in France, the whole page gets swapped into French. So using Google Chrome and having that translate function it's pretty much a necessity. And yeah, I mean, that was it. It all went pretty smoothly. One thing to mention if you're thinking about doing it is number one, you're gonna have an additional $40 a month fee, but at least it's $40 a month and not $200 a month because you're paying $40 for. It's technically, I think, a .co.uk Seller Central account, but like through whatever their engineers did, they allow it to work as an account for all 5 marketplaces. That said, I can't integrate Printful with like if you're familiar guys with my like print on demand, like dropship print on demand stuff with Printful integrations, I can't integrate Printful with anything other than .co.uk, which sucks because I would love to be selling on like all 5 of those markets. Anyways, so you got $40 a month with the second account. I hired SimplyVAT because, guys, you're going to have to pay VAT on your sales. You also have to pay VAT when your goods land, but I'll talk about that in a second. In America, we pay taxes on our profit. So if you sell at a loss, you actually get a tax break. Over there, you pay VAT regardless of if you're selling at a loss, if you're selling at a profit, etc. So that should be stated up front. You know what, man? Like, the account manager, I don't know if I should be like mad at the account manager, mad at Amazon, etc. But like this video that I'm giving you and this is just high level stuff, is going to be more than you'll probably learn anywhere else about selling Pan-European FBA. They don't tell you simple things like what I just told you, that like if you lose money, you owe full VAT. So you're about to lose even more money. And so hopefully this video finds you at the right time, because I don't know if I'd recommend this necessarily. Most people, like, unless you're like an established business with really big established brands, multiple brands probably, you might not want to do this. Take it from me, because I expanded too early. Anyways, so, oh, by the way, Amazon will recommend services that cost almost twice as much as the service that I ended up going with costs. I ended up going with a company called SimplyVAT because I did my research and they were affordably priced. And essentially, unless you're going to try to file taxes yourself, I think it's quarterly taxes, you're going to want to pay somebody to do it for you. And by the way, like, I'm an ambitious dude. I went into the HMRC website and by the way, bachelor's and master's degree in IT. I've been a computer nerd since I was 13 years old, so 17 years straight. The HMRC website is, I want to curse right now, but YouTube doesn't like when you curse. It is so bad that I guess I need my PhD in IT to understand how to use it. But in reality, it's just a broken, crappy website. And the best part was that when I tried to learn it, it was new. It was like relatively newly relaunched. So it's a piece of crap. And my advice is don't even waste time trying to do it yourself, because even if you're smart enough to do it yourself, the website probably won't let you. Anyways, I hired a company called SimplyVAT. I paid them $282 to start with just to get going with the contract, I guess, like with our business relationship. You can just use a credit card to pay them initially, but then you're going to have to wire them the money. Well, you don't actually wire them the money. You wire it to HMRC. So quarterly, they contact me. They say, all right, can you go pull this report from FBA that shows us what you sold? And then we'll tell you based on that report how much money you owe in VAT. And then I have to wire the money to the HMRC. But guys, this is, I'm a little bit like, if you couldn't tell by the tone, a little bit upset with how this all went. So before I even talk about the investment I made in the SKUs that I was selling overseas, I had to pay on arrival, upon goods arriving. I guess I don't know. It's all relative to the value of the goods that I sent, right? So my first SKU to produce cost me $2,334, and then it cost $1,424 to ship. Second SKU, $2,070 to produce, $570 to ship, and my third SKU, so I did 3 SKUs initially, cost the same. I had to pay VAT on the goods arrival to the UK. And by the way, there's loopholes that you can do this without paying VAT. I don't personally. I'm not trying to get in trouble like international law, but there's this really good advanced Amazon seller podcast that I would love to plug called Seller Sessions, and they're on YouTube. They're on your podcast app. They did a podcast episode where the guy who was like the guest one week, he talked about how you can avoid paying VAT sending goods to the UK. I have never done it, right hand to God, and you can tell because on my first goods arrival, I paid basically $2,000. So add up all the money I've paid before my goods are even being, the intake process has started at FBA. I'm already out like quite a good, or invested, let's say, bit of money. And now I'm going to tell you why I'm super pissed. Forget that Amazon's account manager didn't tell me, and I spent a good amount of time talking to that person, emailing back and forth, trying to make sure I understood everything. And then Amazon's also telling us to use services that cost twice as much. And that remind me to come back to that. But this amount of money that you pay as a deposit, you're supposed to see a return on. As long as your company name is correct in what I believe was called the C88 document, which I had everything done by the books. I have a really good freight forwarder that helps me out. He's familiar with all this crap. I'm familiar. I did my research. SimplyVAT helped me. I had plenty of calls with them. I did it correctly. I've still, to this day, it's basically the 1-year anniversary of this initial inventory reaching the UK. I've seen a third of the money I'm supposed to get back. So I'm trying to look at the value of the goods. It was probably, what I saw back was the first SKU. It had to have been the portion of the $2,000 relative to the first SKU's value, because the second two should be more. And that's all I've seen. And by the way, in order to get paid out, I had to use Payoneer, which Payoneer is great if you need to use it, if you have to use it, but they destroy you with fees. And I guess I can put a link in the description to Payoneer if you need to find a way to have an international bank account, but they own you with fees. So it's again, less money. But so I've emailed back and forth my contact at SimplyVAT at least 10 times being like, hey dude, when am I going to get this money back that I'm owed by HMRC? And he says, oh man, they're publicly stating that they're backed up. It's like, oh really? The government website that is so crappy that someone with a master's degree in IT can't find like a simple resource that I'm sure plenty of people go there for to find, like literally the resource I was looking for was how to pay them. How do I send you guys money that I owe you if I'm going to sell in the UK and the EU? They made it impossible. So, or I'm just stupid or that, you know, a master's degree in IT is not enough. But so they can't get their crap together. It's been a year now and I've seen 1/3 of the money they owe me. I mean, roughly 1/3. And it came through Payoneer. So the fees got taken out too. Like a good amount of fees got taken out. The last thing I wanted to say is that if you guys are still, from me getting all riled up in this video, still going to do Pan-European FBA, I forget the name of the service because it's been a while and you only have to do this once, but they'll tell you actually. They'll tell you how to do it. What is it called? I feel like it's on the edge of my tongue, but they'll give you a free VAT ID. So it's probably there were 2 services that Amazon pushes really hard on you. And it's like so crazy. They don't tell you simple things about like how VAT works, and they also push you to work with a company that's going to gouge you and charge you twice as much as they should. But they give you, so I got the best of them. They got me a free VAT ID, and then I didn't use them to help me like pay HMRC the VAT. So I forget what it's called. I feel like it'll come to me in a second. Anyways, get your free VAT ID if that's still a promo that they run, and then do not use them. And I don't know necessarily, like, it was a year ago that I signed my contract with SimplyVAT. Things change. Maybe it's not. I'm not even saying that they were the best. They were good enough. Like, I loved that someone could hop on the phone and like answer my questions whenever I needed something, or I emailed them and they were pretty prompt in their responses. I've had a good experience with them. But yeah, if you guys go for Pan-European FBA, oh yeah, and then another note real quick. I'm just reading through an article that I published on my website about the experience, but you're going to need to set up advertising campaigns in your campaign manager in each of the different Seller Central accounts for each country, which makes sense because you don't want to be like advertising on a German keyword in France, right? So what I would recommend doing is like take your list of keywords, run them through Google Translate into the right languages, and then go set up your advertising campaigns in the right language. And yeah, I mean, I should also mention just my sales experience. Like, it was just like selling on Amazon.com. Even though there was a lot less competition relatively, it all worked out in the end. Like, there was no overnight success on any product on any marketplace, but over time they all grew to the same way that they would in Amazon.com. It's like they start building sales momentum, they get a couple reviews, and the next thing you know, they all started selling regularly. So it's the same sales trajectory is what I would say. Yeah, and then the last thing that I just wanted to point out is that you can make extra profit with Pan-European FBA the same way that I do with Amazon.com, and that is using the Printful Amazon integration. As you can see by the map, they have a fulfillment center in Riga, Latvia, which is where I believe Printful was founded. So shout out to Latvia. And there's no reason not to be doing this. You can sell your FBA products and then get a GTIN exemption and push new print-on-demand listings to be available for sale through your Seller Central account that you're paying $40 a month for, and push new products all day. And if they sell, Printful automatically downloads the sale, fulfills the order, and ships it to your customer. How easy is that? I always put more info below. Check out my channel if you want more info on that. If you came here because you wanted to learn about FBA, learn about how to maximize your passive income through what I call Ryan's Method Passive Income School. Basically 3 complementary approaches to making passive income. I also publish monthly income reports, so if you're interested in viewing my journey from day 1 to where I'm at today, which I don't even know, it's like 2+, almost 3 years or something, check that out, guys. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. Any questions, comments, feedback, hit me up below. I would love to help, and I'll see you at the next one.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.